Hi everyone, just wanted to explain assignment 2 a little bit more before you get started on it, although it's not due till the end of the semester. So first thing you want to do is make sure you go onto that link and complete the values and beliefs quiz. Now, if the link didn't work for you, it may be that you didn't put the entire URL in, as that happened to me, but I just did it and the URL is still active. So you answer each question and it will provide an output of your answers based on a number of different areas of values and beliefs, and it'll tell you if you're below average, within average, or above average in terms of your beliefs or values in that area. Okay, so that's really meant, that doesn't need to be part of the paper. That's really just meant to guide you in the development of this paper. Now, this paper, I don't expect to be in a certain order. I think people's can vary, and I want your papers to vary. I don't want you to all have the same headings or the same flow necessarily, because so far in this ethics class, we've had more quizzes, which are a little bit more right answer, wrong answer, and this assignment is really meant to be more about your values and beliefs, a little bit more of the shades of gray that we talk about within ethics and ethical principles in general. So the paper is 6 to 8 pages, double spaced. That doesn't include your title page or your reference page. So the 6 to 8 pages is just your text. Please use APA style for your paper, and that's part of the grading rubric. As you saw, I have a little bit more of an informal rubric this time, but these are the areas that I'm going to be marking on. So as I mentioned, don't put the results of your values quiz on your paper or just reiterate it. Part of what you need to do is include some information on what your values and beliefs are. That can be pulled from the quiz because I find it helpful, and it also can be pulled through other assignments you've done or other things that you've done in your life that maybe have taught you what your values and beliefs are. It could have been an event that happened when you were younger. It could have been something that's happened through this adventure in grad school that's kind of shaped your values and beliefs in one way or the other. It could have been some work experience, whatever it might be. Those can all be integrated, and I need to see that there's some deep self-reflection and it's not just a reiteration of something off the internet or from this quiz that explains what your values and beliefs are. Now you might say, how does this relate to the BACB Professional and Ethical Compliance Code? Well, really, it does, because how you view the Ethical and Professional Compliance Code is going to be based on your values and beliefs. So my value and belief of cultural competence and having each person value their cultural competence, their cultural background, is really going to be maybe indicative of how I see the accepting gifts. Of maybe that I don't see accepting a gift as accepting, a piece of dessert when I go into a family's house of a different culture who believes that that's what you need to do, or that is what you do when you go into their homes and their culture. So that value is influencing how I perceive that part of the ethics code. So those are the types of connections I want you to make. So it might be that I really struggle with one area because my values are there, but I'm really like the ethics code because I like this point, and this point. And in reflection, the reason I think I really like those those points on the ethics code and find that it's going to be easy to follow them is because it follows my values and beliefs. It might have been because of an experience. It might have been because of this course. It could have been a previous teacher or a mentor, your supervisor, whoever has influenced that for you. So you're going to look at both the things that are going to be easy, the things you really agree with, the things you struggle with. Now, the things you really align with, you also might want to reflect on the fact that that alignment might be detrimental to you at times. So the fact that you align so well with that, you might not be open to other people who see it in a different light, or other people of different cultures or something like that. So your alignment isn't always necessarily good either. So I would encourage you at times to potentially look for other references about cultural competence and something even disability culture too, because a lot of us are working with persons with disabilities in this field. And so how does the disability culture, there's a lot out there in the literature about that as well. Since it's more self-reflection, I think 3 to 5 to 8 references max is all you need. But I really would only expect a couple extra references besides the quiz and the compliance code. Please also include readings from this class. They don't have to necessarily be new references either, right? Because we've covered a lot of things from an opinion papers from the Ethical Compliance Code, and you might have aligned to them or disagreed with them more or less. So therefore, use those in your references as well. So really, it's like a summary paper of everything we've done this term. And then the last thing I want to make sure that you cover within your paper is just make sure strategies to overcome this. So if you tend to align this way with the code or that way with the code, what are you going to need to do? How are you going to overcome that? How are you going to engage in practices of self-reflection in the field more consistently? How are you going to call on your colleagues or your supervisors and tell them to watch out for those types of things when you start those types of relationships, knowing this? I think that this is so important because I truly think with ethics, it's not necessarily about knowing it or knowing it right or wrong. It's really about being aware of your values and beliefs and how that relates to our field or doesn't relate to our field, and therefore being conscientious of it. As soon as we think that as soon as we're not conscientious, that's when ethical mistakes really start to happen. So looking forward to your papers, and please post any questions to the discussion forum about the assignment, and then I can answer to everybody so that everyone has the answer. Thanks so much.